We can go through them all. Even SNX is not a 70 whatever rank. Like they should be a top.
They should be
undervalued.
Super undervalued. Okay, Bitcoin's awesome. Ethereum awesome. Binance Coin. Yeah, it's utility. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay. XRP it doesn't die, man. XRP doesn't die. It just it comes back. It comes back right. No matter what.
Yeah.
I'll leave it alone. Okay, Tether. Okay. Cardano. Okay, Dogecoin. My boy. No. Yeah. What? Nani?
It's not sustainable.
Like, do not say that. No, you cannot. Do not talk bad about Doge.
But where is Doge? Where's Dogecoin
going to be? Dogecoin to Bitcoin. Dogecoin to Bitcoin is going to lose like 99% of its value. I just know that I know how the trading pair works.
Where was Dogecoin at the bottom of the bear market? Like it must have been
fractions of pennies.
It must have been so low compared to Bitcoin. Like it's going to lose 90% of its value during the bear market.
It's going to lose like 99.
It's all retail money, man. It's short-term thinking retail money.
I'm not trying to talk shit. Like whoever made money on it, like good. Like that's great.
Dogecoin is a top. What are they? They're a top 100 coin, I guess. Yeah, they're not a top 7.
It's just the historically it makes these really big moves versus Bitcoin, and it crashes back to its historical support zone every single time. So like based on previous trends that have already happened like 20 times on Dogecoin, it is going to lose like 99, like really close. It's going to lose over 90% of its valuation versus Bitcoin. It really does not like, I mean, it's a great meme, but there's definitely better stuff than like Dogecoin for sure.
All right, so Doge, whatever, but it deserves to be there because it's being talked everywhere, so it does have some utility for pump and dumping. Perfect. Okay, Polkadot for show, Litecoin for show, Uniswap for sure.
Bitcoin Cash is like XRP. It's just not going to die. It's probably not
going to die.
No, it's got too much institutional money in terms of they're putting it passively to buy in there. Which is kind of
it's also just the name. It's just the fact that it has Bitcoin in the name. It just people get confused with it, or who knows why people buy. I have no idea who's holding it, but people are.
Okay, so Chainlink good, even though I do have some problems with it later on in the market.
Yeah, it's the Chainlink is for sure a top 10 though.
Yeah, for sure.
They're top 15, top 10 for sure.
USDC, this is the best stablecoin in the market for this cycle.
That's the one I use. I use only USDC.
Next cycle, this is going to be shit. I think there's going to be political crap with this coin. But for right now, it's
Tether's looking better though. Tether's looking more legit. Like after all this stuff has come out, Tether's actually seems like it's fully backed and it seems like it's regulated. Like it seems. I was so scared to hold it before. I was so scared to hold it. Now I'm not scared to hold Tether anymore.
The one thing that cracks me up about Tether though, it's got a Superman symbol for the fucking thing. That's really funny. Okay, VeChain.
I don't know anything about VeChain, but I don't think it's not a top 20 coin. It's not. It's a top 50, maybe top 75. It should be. It should be around. It should be around like 70 to 60 range.
Definitely.
Solana's a top 20 coin.
Stellar, it's like I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they're over here being like they're the backbone of like the digital currency for fucking the Ukraine. For some reason, I don't know how they got that. So it's like they're going to be there since this is the first real.
Well, their founder's legit, like because he created XRP and Stellar, and I don't know. He has a lot of connections and stuff with IBM and things.
Beta Network, yes, should be here. This is growing, even though it's completely fucking owned by Google again. So good luck, you guys. Then you got Filecoin. This shit should be
Filecoin
here.
Is
should
like,
not be here.
Yeah, it's
trash.
Totally pumped up by VC investors. Like it's a VC investor coin, basically.
Yeah, and Tron.
No.
Wrap Bitcoin. Eventually, you won't even need this. Hopefully, you can just natively swap the assets in there. But still, I don't count this anyway. Terra, I don't. I reserve. Well, actually, that's a top 20 basically.
I don't know anything about Terra. I know zero. I can't speak.
I don't know who even backed it or nothing. I mean, shit, I'll look into it right now. Let's see.
Looking at crypto, like, do you know about all these coins? Like, I don't know how you can possibly know about all these coins. Like, I
don't truthfully. I have like 10. I have 10 that I know really well.
Doge, Monocoin, Monero.
Monero.
It's not Monero.
No, Monero has a use case though. Like the thing
about Monero's outperforming. Like
Monero's a top 25, top 30 coin.
It's a top 25. Monero is like it's the strongest performing proof of work coin. So
it has legit value. It actually has a use case.
It's gonna be multi-$1,000 this cycle, definitely.
Definitely.
It's tough. Yeah, it's a legit coin. Neo is a joke. I don't know why they're just
It's trash. I reserve judgment on this one. Maybe.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's basically a coin for this.
You talked about it a bit. You said it's being propped up by a specific geographic. What you said it's
South Korea. South Korea controls this entire thing, and then it's the biggest social media platform. It controls all the social. Imagine if you had a company that controlled Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and everything like that, and Snapchat, and then on top of that, owned Uber as well, and Uber Eats and everything like that, and Airbnb. that's how powerful that company is inside of South Korea, and then this is their currency that they're trying to make into like international payments. So this is essentially like this is kind of a big deal actually for South Korea.
It came out of nowhere though. Like it's only been around for a few months, hasn't it? Or like it just shot in the top 50 only the last few months. I never saw it on CoinMarketCap. Yeah,
I was surprised. I mean, it creeped up on me too, but then I did some research into it, and I guess it's been around for a while. But it was like if there's no token, I don't care for the most part, because like there's no upside. Because EOS, no. Yes.
What is IOTA? IOTA is like
trash.
Like it's garbage, but like a lot of people are still invested in it. Like it still has $5 billion, $6 billion. Like
I literally
EOS and IOTA should go to like not zero, but they should not be in the top 50 at this point.
Oh, this is sad. Bitfinex. Wow, really though? Binance.
Like IOTA's been promising stuff for years. Like I don't actively follow them, and I'm sure there's some people that are super involved in it. But like the Internet of Things, like is it really like it's just not. I don't know.
Basically, to me, what I see in terms of exchanges, it just looks like a bunch of like Asian countries propping this up.
Maybe probably it has low volume or something. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean it's all Asian exchanges. I mean look at this. Asian, Nova, Huobi, Coingecko.
Like when do you see a headline, or when do you see any YouTube channel when's the last time any of the major YouTube channels talked about EOS or IOTA? like they just don't talk about these coins anymore, and they're just not doing anything. I mean, they stick around somehow. Cosmos is legit.
That's a good one.
Aave's legit.
Aave's really good. That's going to do really well.
And Aave's performed extremely well this cycle.
Yeah, it's breaking out. Actually,
Aave's a top 25 coin.
Yeah, the chart looks really good. It's on a surge.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say the chart is about to explode on Aave.
Dude, that's just a fucking morning wood. Jesus Christ.
The thing about Aave I noticed is it'll pump, but then it actually sustains on the dumps. That's when you really tell it's a legit coin. Like same thing with Celsius, right? Like it'll pump, but it will sustain on the dumps. Like it doesn't have this crazy corrections that a lot of coins have. And Aave has had multiple pumps, and it doesn't seem like it necessarily goes with the overall market trend too, which is usually a good sign when a coin doesn't always go with the market trend. Like SNX, Aave, Cell, they don't always pump when the overall market's pumping. There's many other projects that do that, but Aave's legit for sure.
Yeah, I've been just passively dollar cost averaging into it. Just never turned off my recurring purchases. I just look at it. This is gonna be something I'm just gonna sell way later on for thousands and thousands of dollars each. Just fucking easy. I'll probably buy it with my Aave money. I'll probably buy like something stupid like Lamborghini or something off of it. Just something dumb. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
I want Aave to do well. Like I want a lot of these DeFi to do well because it's really good for Celsius too. But yeah, Aave is legit for sure.
Yeah, I've been buying this thing since $30. Shout out to all my Q4 guys. Cha-ching.
15x. Yeah, solid.
Sitting sick in it. Aave powered by Chainlink, yeah, pretty much. I mean, everything's powered by Chainlink. That's why I think it's so dangerous. It's like we're the most descent. Oh my, is that Fast Moon? Are we really? What the fuck? Oh my god! No.
Binance does not care, man. They'll take money from anyone. Dude, they do not discriminate. Oh, this is Coingecko. This is
Coingecko. Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
Wow.
Someone needs to buy Coingecko, man. Like Celsius needs to buy Coingecko. Or Celsius could maybe buy CoinGecko after. Well, they're not going to do it. Yeah. But yeah, EOS needs to buy CoinGecko.
Yeah.
Someone needs to buy CoinGecko.
In terms of the DEX, not the DEXs, I'm sorry. In terms of the CoinMarketCap sites, Nomics is the best one. In terms actually, their guys actually the main dude of that exchange is a really good guy actually. So he's actually come on even on some Hexagon streams. Pretty cool dude. The dude's legit as fuck, man. He just I just care for the real data, no bullshit. Just stop all this gatekeeping crap.
The problem is, I agree with you. Nomics seems to be like the most legit one, but if you look at the actual traffic flow to these sites,
yeah,
like it's ridiculous. Like CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap have like a 95% market share.
Yep.
Like there's only I think it's 1 or 2 million users that go to all the other ones combined, and these ones get like 50 million.
I'll pump it.
Yeah, but Nomics, yeah, it's definitely a good one.
I mean, it's so easy. So this is trash.
PancakeSwap is, I mean, Bitcoin SV is garbage. BitTorrent is, I haven't looked into it, but I'm assuming it's garbage. This is a Tron project. BitTorrent is a Tron project, I believe. Don't they own it?
They bought it. They bought it.
They own it.
They bought it. Yeah. They bought it. Crypto. They deserve their spot. It's just,
No, they actually have products and they actually have a business model. I mean, Crypto.com. Remember they were a top 10 though.
Oh yeah, for a while. I was surprised
when we were talking like on these podcasts, like whatever 9 months ago with you guys, and you were talking about how they're going to tank once they get taken off the ads on Binance. They sure tank though. Like they're definitely down, but they're still legit. Like, but they were a top 10. When they were top 10, they were way overvalued. They're a top 50, maybe. They're top 50 probably.
I really wish I could take a 10x long on some of my calls from back in the day, bro. I'd be way richer. Can you imagine if you could just take a bet on some of the stuff? Like if you could say,
and then 10x and then 10x what you've already done. Like
yeah.
So
this is that's an exchange token. Good stuff.
Yeah.
The stablecoin.
Exchange tokens will actually do decent because they have real utility.
It's a business. It's actually a business.
Like and Binance has proved that. I mean, theirs is more than just exchange, but they've proved that exchange tokens, if it's a good exchange, they'll actually hold their value.
So this is the owner of Solana, basically. This right here.
Right. Oh, there you go. It's also connected to Solana, so there's a lot of possibilities there. So that coin could do decent just because Solana is going to do well.
Ethereum Classic. The only reason I don't discount this off is just because the miners are all going to jump on Ethereum Classic. So Ethereum Classic eventually is going to do some stupid pump, like stupid, but it's going
like as a long-term hold. Like who's long-term holding Ethereum Classic at this point? Like I don't get that. Doesn't make any sense. Like given what Ethereum's doing and going to do, and the market share and the network effects and the Lindy, I just don't see like Ethereum Classic. Like it could pump in the short term when these miners like. But long term, it just makes no sense to hold them at this point.
Yeah, ETC is its chart is dying versus Ethereum. It's just death.
Kusama is the best performer, I think, this year. Over the last year.
Kusama's really good. Yeah, Kusama's a phenomenal performer.
I was actually comparing Kusama's appreciation to Cell Token, and Kusama, I believe, is outperformed from the basement. Like if you actually look at Kusama from the absolute basement, it was $1 less than a year ago.
Oh yeah. If we're talking about overall gains,
if you're looking at just straight gains, like from the absolute basement, Kusama I think is comparable with Cell. Because Cell was the best performer last year, but I think if you go from a year from today, Kusama might be the best performer in all of crypto. And actually, Theta is up there too. Theta is one of the best performers.
Yeah, if we say at least
straight X's.
Straight X's. Yeah, Kusama's probably the best.
Kusama and Theta, I think.
In terms of for this year, it's probably Solana. Is actually the highest.
I could see that.
It basically did a 40x since January.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
42. Man. Yeah, it did pretty well. Avalanche, trash. Compound.
Algorand is always Algorand.
Oh yes.
And we missed Tezos is legit, but Tezos is legit.
That's how much of a ghost chain. I didn't even notice it.
But Tezos is like they're not a top. They're kind of where they should be. Like they're not as good as Cosmos. They're not as good as
what.
They're better than EOS probably.
Yeah. They are. Yeah.
Well, actually, there's actually so I don't even hold Tezos, like I'm saying this, but there's actually more network usage on Tezos than there is basically on everything except like Ethereum in the top 10. They actually have a lot of network usage. The problem with Tezos is their Foundation is so bad at marketing, like so terrible, so awful at marketing that it just gets no recognition at all. But the chain itself is actually really good, gets a lot of usage, but the marketing is a serious problem, and you see that, like you see, because the value for all this stuff, it all boils down to belief. And ADA, for example, which has yet to have smart contracts. More people, I mean, I believe way more in Cardano than I do in Tezos, hands down. And ADA doesn't even have like the smart contract part yet, so it goes into the whole marketing aspect of it.
It definitely shows you, man, that raising money has nothing to do with what you end up accomplishing. Like Tezos and EOS were the top raisers, I think, for platforms. Like Tezos raised, I think it was like $600 million. Like besides EOS, I think they were the second largest. There's a couple ones that raised a lot of money, but it shows you it absolutely does not equate to where you end up performing as a token. Mm-hmm. Like there's no correlation because there just isn't. One that I want to get your guys' take on after we go through these all is Definity, because that's one that I think will end up being a top 10 coin because it's got so much money and hype behind it. It might be garbage, but it's been building for years, man. Like Tezos or Definity was being talked. It's the only one that hasn't come out from 2017 that was being talked about as far back as 2017, and they raised hundreds of millions of dollars. So I have no idea, but it's just one that it's going to shoot up. It's going to shoot up in the top 20 when it does go, just based on hype. We'll see if it sustains. But there's so many of these things, man. There's so many of these platforms. So Compound's legit.
Fucking the most legit of all, honestly.
I'm surprised Compound's dropped as low as 45, actually.
Yeah,
it's up 42% in the last.
There's a reason for that, but I'll get into that later. I'll probably say it in the course for legitimate reasons. This and Maker. Damn, I was so right on Maker. God damn.
Yeah, you did call Maker. You did call that.
What was Maker at last market cycle? I don't remember being in the thousands. I remember it being the hundreds.
Yeah, it probably was. Let me see.
I think
Maker's 10x. It's 10x in the last year.
Yeah, it peaked out like 1600 last cycle.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
it's not up. It's actually not up that much from last market cycle peak, but it's still up a lot from the bear market.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at this is when I was looking at Maker a lot. I didn't have the cash because I was like basically I was just at the time I was looking at Maker a lot, the whole ramp up, and I was like my money was better allocated into Celsius, which it was, so it was the right call. But this is the sort of thing. What happens is when like you got to make decisions, or like you see a great deal, but the thing is like there's a better opportunity somewhere else. But this would have been a great hold because then I would have been able to make a ton of DAI myself, and then there hasn't been any liquidations from here to there, so actually I would have had a printing press of fucking DAI for myself. Should have been nice.
Yeah, the biggest thing with Maker is like I guess if you can get slashed or something, or what happens like with Maker, if something happens, if it doesn't maintain its peg, like doesn't that affect the people holding Maker token?
Yeah, so with DAI
because you're voting, you have like voting rights or something. Like
you have voting rights as well as you get paid interest for holding Maker. So if I look at Maker, let me go to the Makers to see the total market, the total supply. So right now it should be about 1 million.
We missed Hex on the when we went through all this.
I know it's because they don't show it because these guys are like
they still don't show, which is crazy.
Slimy fucks. Anyway,
at some point Hex needs to just like outright buy one of these. Buy Coingecko.
Cash. But I would have done interesting things with Hex if I had the bankroll to do it and stuff. But
ETH is killing it, man. ETH is up 20% this week.
Yeah.
But anyway, with Maker, right? There's about 1 million tokens right now. So basically, what happens is if you control, let's see, let me get the percentages correct. So let's just say you own 10% or 10,000 Maker tokens, right? Which would be about let's see what that would be, what that would cost today. That would cost about roughly what was that, 42 million? Yeah, $43 million. At that point, then I would generate 1% of all the DAI token that gets created every year as my interest payments. And if you look at DAI, how much there is, that would be about currently there's about $3.5 billion of DAI. So effectively, as this grows up, I would control 1% of the supply of the DAI that comes out of the newly fresh.
What do you mean by DAI? What do you mean by control? Like
so because if you control 1% of the supply of Maker of Maker, and you have it staked out as long with some ETH, you essentially print a ton of a DAI token as your interest payment, because you as a Maker holder.
Oh, you're getting like income stream from the overall network.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was seeing at the time.
Oh,
myself.
okay. So it's because it's almost like a DAO.
It is a DAO.
It's a DAO company that you're getting paid out as long as it maintains the peg and gains adoption. It's so as they print more DAI, a small percentage of that gets siphoned off to the people holding Maker.
Yeah, they get all. Actually, they make all of it. They make all of it. They make all of it. And so all the new DAI that gets created goes to the Maker holders.
But there's no fees though. Where do the fees come? Like how does because if people go and buy DAI, there's no fee associated with buying DAI. So how are they leveraging out the underlying assets? They're making money on the reserve assets basically.
Right, and there's also ETH as well that's staked, so it's multi-collateral now.
So they're almost like a bank then. They're almost like a bank.
They're a central bank. They're essentially a central bank that creates their own. Mm-hmm.
So you're okay. So by holding Maker, you're basically on the you have a small board seat on the central, the decentralized central reserve.
Correct.
It's a decentralized central reserve. That's what it is.
Yeah, and here's the other part of that too is that that a lot of people don't put into consideration. So you do make a lot of income off the token, but here's the risk: is that when the peg breaks, your Maker is going to be printed out. So they're going to print more Maker and then dump the Maker on the market.
So it's actually like if the Federal Reserve was held accountable.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So like if they screwed up, they would be the ones on the hook. So it's an accountable, decentralized central reserve is what it is.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. What other coins?
Well, I literally almost know everything about all these.
You know so much on all these coins. I just like to pick your guys' brain on all these things. I just had no time to go into all this stuff.
We're just trying to figure out. So if the top 20 market cap, what's number 20 at right now in terms of market cap?
It is 8.5 billion.
Okay, so I think if you assume basically 100 billion to break into the top 20 at the blow off top, and then what is Celsius at right now?
You think 100? You think 100 billion to break into the top?
Yes.
Oh, top 20. Yeah. But no, 100 billion. That can't be right because 100 billion would guarantee a 2 trillion for the top 20 alone. I would say you're going to need 50 billion to make in the top 20. Because right now, how much do you need to be in the top 20?
Yeah.
8 billion?
I was just using this number to basically figure out the number of like possible X's, because it comes out to a 40X, and then what is the price? $6.
Yeah, I think you need. I think that makes sense, right? So like if to be in the top 20 coin, if you need a 45 billion market cap, that would mean Celsius is going to Celsius to get to 45 billion would be a 30X. So say at the peak of the cycle, the top 20 coins are all 45 billion or more. Celsius, based on the market cap right now, would need a 30X to be a top 20 coin.
$180 right there on the money. God damn.
A 40X puts it around like 250. So I guess the other thing is this would be pretty interesting, but because you know how you guys were just talking about the whole supply demand thing and the interest rates to keep a stable interest rates. Well, what if at the peak of the cycle they're just like, let's just allow for overextension and a blow off top?
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's they once they have, this is the thing, right? This equity raise can change quite a bit because it's going to give them the funds to kind of let the token probably run a little bit more, right? And once the treasury is fully, or even a huge percentage of it is monetized, plus they have more money on their balance sheet. Like I'm just speculating, but I think that there'll be a little bit more flexibility with letting the token run. Yeah. Just because they can support the interest rates, and it's good marketing, right? You got to factor that. They don't want it to crash, though. That's the thing, though, because the crash does hurt their users and does hurt. And the interesting thing that Alex and the team did which is an obvious indicator, was when we hit whatever $7 at like early January, they took off the 33% LTV for Cell token. they removed it from the app. So like that tells you right there, they didn't want people taking a 33% LTV on Celsius when it ran from like $2 to $8 in like 6 weeks or 4 weeks, because if someone leveraged at 33% LTV at $8, they could potentially get liquidated. But Celsius recently put back on the 33% LTV a few weeks ago, or probably like a month ago. So that tells you right there, that's a straight up indicator. Buy when they put on the 33% LTV and take like sell, not sell, because you shouldn't be buying, you shouldn't be trading Cell token, you should be holding it. But don't leverage yourself when they remove the button.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that's not going to get priced in really this cycle. I mean, it is like a little bit, but as more and more people are aware of the strategy with loans, there's going to be some big money that's coming in later on in the bear market. It's basically just going to end up sucking up more AUM. Was kind of the main point I was going to make, just for the loan strategy, because there's really not many places right now you can access with Bitcoin and access loans and stuff, other than if you're maybe using like Ethereum or something like that. But that's going to be a pretty big market. Because what is the market cap of Coinbase right now is like what, 85 billion? And let's say during this market,
something like that.
Yeah, because I think basically Coinbase hitting something like 400 billion this cycle is like pretty reasonable, because that's like a 4x on the price. So if you assume like Celsius hits 400 billion like next cycle, and then you divide it by its current market cap, which is at like 2.4 billion, that's a 166x on the price, which puts it basically over $1,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the $1,400 thing is actually, it's like
it's not impossible. It's actually
very reasonable. It's like not even really like it's not really like an outrageous, like it seems outrageous now, but it's really not, because JP Morgan today, they're like a 500 billion market cap. So
oh my god, Jesus Christ.
And Celsius is very quickly going to climb up the rankings. It's a top 100 bank right now, in the US, and they're just going to climb so fast. And the thing is, like, $10,000 per Cell token is probably getting into the realm of impossibility, but because that's a 10 trillion, that'd be a $5 trillion market cap, which is just absurd. Like, that'd be crazy. But I do think like a $500 to $1,000 Cell token is possible in our lifetime or in the next 10 years, just based on everything. It just seems like how big of a player they're going to be in the space. Like, we're focusing on getting to 100, obviously, and even to 50 before that, but it's all possible. Like it is actually possible with Celsius, because of their AUM is just going to be so gigantic. What they're and one thing you're just saying, Wasabi. So we're looking at crypto. So with these loans, these people wanting these loans, like right now, there must be a lot of miners that are very profitable miners that have a big balance sheet that can take their Bitcoin, put it on Celsius, and do a low LTV loan.
Yeah.
And take a 1% loan. Like some of these miners, they could fund their stuff. Say they have like a crazy amount of Bitcoin in reserve. They don't want to sell at this market cycle till it gets closer to the peak, right? So they go to Celsius, they get a 25% or 33% LTV loan. They know the risk is very low, and they get a 1% loan, and now they can take all that freed up cash and they can fund their mining, and they don't have to sell any of their Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you some of these big depositors into Celsius are coming from miners. And Celsius is actually in the mining game now. Like they're actually starting to mine more and more Bitcoins. And so they're working with miners. And because Celsius actually has a partnership with one of the largest miners in the US, I think the second largest, they're connected into the web of the mining space. And so a lot of Bitcoin that's flooding into the app, I think, is actually coming from miners that don't want to sell, that want to free up cash.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing that's so this is why whenever I hear people saying like Bitcoin, I find it so ridiculous when people talk about like Bitcoin like dying, or it's so stupid. Like it's just dumb, because another way to look at it is let's look at real estate, for example, which is completely like real estate is whale play. There's certain tax benefits that go into real estate, and once people can start doing that with Bitcoin, which it's going to happen over the next couple of years, it's just like another whale play that's going to keep pumping the price and keep it like basically forever like one of the alpha pairs like in this market. And Celsius is like one of the infrastructure plays where you can do stuff like that. So the level of like trust around Bitcoin by then is going to be so, it's going to be so basically ingrained even in just finance that it's the most logical option if somebody wants to take a low risk loan during the bear market. Because people with actual money, they're not going to be doing this stuff with like altcoins. Like they want to actually have an asset that's time tested, and then something that they're at way lower risk to get liquidated on, like with the loans. And it's going to be mostly Bitcoin and maybe to a lesser extent like Ethereum, and then Celsius, because you get there's like certain benefits with Cell token as well. But I think those are, I think it's going to be predominantly Bitcoin that people for the vast majority leverage into for low risk loans that they can then leverage into other assets.